Today we're going to check out the Gojira Signature Virtual Drums software from Mixwave. Okay, so let's get started by taking a look at the interface here. Now, this software does require the use of Kontakt, the sample library loader software. You can get that free, and that's available, again, free, so no worries on that one, but it will require that to be loaded as a sound bank. Now, what we have on here is a pretty cool picture, actually, of what looks like a drum recording room and a visual of his kit. From here, you can watch as the patterns go by and see the drums actually work, or you can test and trigger them yourselves. So let's take a little tour around the kit here. So these are all pretty cool options in that you get to be able to go through and really hear isolated, give it a good tap or a hit. And if you're doing some mixing or you've decided to route it outside of the program to do additional mixing, you can kind of take some hits on your own and just be able to tailor it one at a time. So the next tab over from here is going to be the drum mixing panel. This has some great options. I was really impressed with some of the things we have on here. It looks like a fairly standard mixer, but you have solo, mute, and phase and the pan for each of the individuals, kick, snare, your rack toms, floor toms. Over here, you have how much of them is going into the overheads, the rooms, and then the overall master. You have compressor, EQ, and tape, all on switch here that you can use for the overall mix of these. Then you also, per item, you've got your individual controls, and then you also have control over your envelopes and then the ins and outs for the overheads and rooms. Now, one of the cool things that I thought was really interesting about this program versus some others I've worked with is you have clickable either global or individual effect parameters. And what I mean by that is like with the tune, if I want to detune an instrument, I can do it individually by just turning this dial forward or backward, or by clicking the lock there, I can tune the entire kit forward and backward so that the entire kit gets moved by the same percentage. That's a really cool option. I enjoyed that a lot, saving the work of trying to keep them in a matching kind of movement as far as my retuning. So that was a really interesting thing. So the other thing that's cool here is that you have a mix and a boost. Now the mix is all the post-processing, obviously the mix that you would do inside of here that they've pre-done with a number of the presets and things. The other is the boost. And the boost is another level on top of the samples you're already hearing. It gives it, that extra kick. So let's hear the effect of these on and off. And again, these can be switched off just per instrument. Like if, I want to do just for one instrument, or, and this is what I'm going to do, you can shut them off for the entire kit. again, a great option to just be able to control everything at once. So let's hear everything with it on, and then I'm going to shut it off, and you'll be able to hear what the mix and boost do. So first, I'm going to disable the boost and let you hear what that does. So as you can tell, pretty big difference. But if you're going to do your own post-processing and everything, that's a really cool option to be able to just shut everything off and send some multi-outs and everything. Or, again, being able to do that individually is really cool. Like maybe you love the massive kick in here, but you want to layer a different sample of your own post after this, or there's just something you want to tweak a little differently with some EQ or the way it's compressed. You can pull that stuff off of it individually, send it out. Again, really well thought out. I was impressed by that. So let's check out next. We've got the cymbals page. Same thing. It's basically, all the same options over again, and also with the additionals being the snare and toms, how much you're getting inside of those, inside the tom and overhead mics. Then we go to the settings page. So this is basically your routing. So if you've got an E-kit that has custom mapping to it, something like that, you can load it up inside of here. And it also comes with a number of presets. This is the default. And then you've got, whether it's general MIDI, if you've programmed an easy drummer and you want to migrate the stuff out, superior BFD, addictive drums, etc. You can create your own mappings, save them and load it in there. So you don't have to redo all of your old files. If you've worked in another piece of drum software, you can remap it inside of here, maybe a few adjustments here and there, and you're pretty much set to go. So now let's pull up a nice grindy bass loop, and we're going to go through each one of the presets that comes preloaded with the Gojira software and listen to the variety available with no external processing and just with everything already on set inside the mixer. Let's get at it. Gotta say, I really like that fast and actually the detuned one. Really thick, really heavy. So very cool. So I think they've come up with a really killer sounding kit. It right out of the box is basically mix ready. You can drop it in and work your guitars and bass around it with very little effort. And it is solid, clear, punchy, just crushing metal kit. But I don't think it's limited to that. I think that with going through and making some edits on your own or some other types of processing, this could fit into just regular rock, hard rock, any type of mix like that. So I wouldn't write it off as a one trick pony. Definitely really clear, really realistic, and with a lot of options. So thanks to Mixwave for sending this one out, and I really enjoyed checking this one out. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this and what you heard, and how do you think it stacks up against others that maybe you're using or that you've tried? Appreciate you joining me. I'll see you on the next one.